Hello, my name is Keith Stifler of Metropolitan Community College. Thank you for watching this video. I wanted to share this video with students who are unable to attend our senior visit night and our A+ information night. What we're going to do tonight in this video is discuss a little bit about Metropolitan Community College, but also discuss a little bit about A+. So one of the questions that we sometimes ask students is, why MCC? In MCC, students choose us because of a variety of different reasons. Maybe it's close to home. Maybe they see the value in the cost savings that they have. Maybe they want that small environment. During this presentation, you're going to see a few things that might spark reasons why you may want to come to MCC. But I will say, from working here, it's really, in my mind, is about the people. It's wonderful to see the students interacting on campus. We have wonderful faculty who are dedicated to helping students understand their course material. We have staff that are trying to provide quality service to our students, and people just genuinely care. And so I really do believe MCC is a great place for students. But as you watch this video, you may see some reasons why you may consider coming to MCC. So with Metropolitan Community College, we have 4 campuses plus an online campus, but we are considered one college. So you can attend any one of our campuses, and that falls under the MCC umbrella. So you may want to choose to attend a campus that's closest to you. You know, if you live in Eastern Jackson County, you might want to go to the Blue River campus. Our southern area of our service area in Lee Summit, we have our Longview campus. In our Northland, we have our Maple Woods campus, and towards Midtown, we have our Penn Valley campus. And each of our campuses maybe have a few specialized programs, but I tell students that what ends up happening is that you can choose to go to the campus that you want to go to. There may be some courses you can only get at certain campuses, but recognize that, again, we are all one MCC. And we provide over 120 different associate degrees and certificate programs. And we really pride ourselves in providing a quality experience in the classroom for our students. So when it comes to Metropolitan Community College, we tend to have what we refer to transfer degrees and job skill degrees. So I'm going to start off with our transfer degrees. These are degrees that are meant to help students transfer to a college or a university, and normally get that what we refer to as that 4-year degree or bachelor's degree. You can see the listing of degrees that are listed there. I don't expect you to know which of those degrees you need to help you transfer. What happens is you'll be working with an academic advisor who will be able to help you go, well, this is the best degree to go to this institution or for this major. So for instance, the Associate's Computer Science works very well transferring to UMKC, but it might not be the ideal degree for you to go into computer science at Mizzou. We help students figure out which of those best degrees are for you. Again, I don't expect you to know which of these degrees, but I just need you to recognize that we have what's called transfer degrees to make that a more seamless process. You can see that there's a variety of places students will go. These are some of the institutions where we have our program agreements with our regional partners. In the state of Missouri, we have what's called the Core 42. And so what ends up happening is what we call standard transfer curriculum from general education courses, which are like your history, your math, your basic science courses, English, things like that. In the state of Missouri, there's a state law that was passed saying you need to accept these courses at certain universities. So if you do psychology with us, Intro to Psychology, and transfer that to Mizzou, they need to accept that Intro to Psychology course. But I know that some students will have other aspirations besides these institutions that are here. I've had some students transfer to University of Minnesota or UCLA. And so our goal is to help students figure out where they're going and how do we make that transfer process as seamless as possible. Because you can start here and we can get you there. wherever that there is for you. So we have what's also called the job ready, or what we sometimes call our career and technical education degrees and certificates. These are ones that help you learn a skill or develop some knowledge that help you join right into the working career. So these are not as what we call meant to transfer. They can still transfer very well, but these are more giving you that skill and knowledge that you need to enter a career field. And what we do see is that those who have an associate's degree earn more than those who have a high school degree. And so what ends up happening is that these degrees can actually have definitely higher earning potential that's listed than just what's here, but this is the average that's showing. But I do recognize that you may want to consider one of these career and technical programs. Listing here are the variety of some of those degree and technical programs that we have. So under arts and humanities and language and communications, you'll see graphic design. So if you're interested in art and you think you can feel like you could be a designer, great path for some students to go down and learning those skills. You know, under business, maybe you want to do some bookkeeping. We have an accounting program that will work well for you there. You know, some students really like to work with the pre-K kids. Well, that early childhood degree and certificate gets you some of those experiences that you need to work in a pre-K environment, and maybe even get promoted in that pre-K environment. Social services and public, or social sciences and public services. You know, in the police academy that we have at the Blue River campus, it's a great opportunity to learn the skills to help serve their community. And there's a high need that truly exists out there. And as a heads up, some of these programs that are listed here can be done anywhere from 1 semester to 3 years, depending on the type of program and how many credit hours you're taking in a semester. Health science is one of our most popular areas. Includes a lot of our various fields, like for instance, nursing, surgical tech, radiology, things like that. And so we can help students actually join the healthcare field by completing some of these programs. And we have a great, our Health Science Institute is almost like a virtual hospital. Great opportunity to complete these programs and learn the skills to help you be the most successful you can be, but great route for some students. Near and dear to my heart is what's called applied technology and manufacturing. These are programs that are very traditionally very hands-on. You know, you might be doing repairs and different things like that to help provide a service or help make a product that aids other people. So for instance, I can look here, there's the HVAC, that is our heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. You know, that's a job or career field that just can't be really outsourced. It's one of those that we have a 1 semester program, as if you're a full-time student, that could get you job ready literally in 1 semester. And, you know, I think it's a great opportunity for those who want to get into that working field as soon as possible. I see welding. My program coordinator spoke with me the other day and said, I got a call from an employer that said I need 21 welders and I need them now. There's plenty of opportunities that exist out there. We see the computer integrated machining manufacturing. If you go on Indeed, a job hunting website, and just type in machinist, start scrolling, you'll see positions galore that are out there. These fields have a lot of people, a lot of demand and a lot of need that's existing out there. And the last but not least I'll mention too is I see automotive, you know, some people who just love working with cars and learning that there's some opportunities that you can work on any model, or we have like a Ford and a GM program where students work at a dealership, and at that dealership, they go to class for part-time and then they work at that dealership part-time, and just create some great opportunities for students. But automotive is a great field to go into. The science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we have options to help students get right into the working field without as much math as sometimes the engineering and sometimes the STEM-related fields have. So for instance, the Secure Systems Administration Engineering. If you like working with computers, but you don't love math real well, that's a great program for you. The highest level math is college algebra. Versus if I was going for a bachelor's degree in computer science, I'd probably have to get a Calculus 1, Calculus 2 level. And again, there is a lot of demand for students to get the certifications that they learn these classes and take that and get into the working field. There's just again a demand for these individuals in the working field who have these type of degrees and certifications that they learn while getting these degrees. MCC provides a lot of different student support. So if you're like, I just don't know how to study real well, or I don't know what I want to do exactly, or I'm applying for a job, but I don't know how to work on my resume, there's lots of support opportunities. Like we offer free tutoring. We provide peer mentoring where a peer might help give you some guidance and support you in your college journey. Career counseling, helping you figure out maybe what major to pursue, but also helping students kind of go, hey, how do I interview for a position? They help coach you. Disability support services, we have that as an option for students who self-declare that they have a disability. They have that opportunity to be able to go, you know what, maybe I need more extended time on our test and be able to get these accommodations that will help them be successful in our collegiate environment. In addition to that, we also have student clubs and organizations, which are wonderful. I always say to students that without student clubs and organizations, I might not be sitting in front of you today. If you see me on the street, you'll have to ask me about how a grilled cheese sandwich changed my life forever as part of one of these student clubs and organizations. But I won't share that story now, but I will say the opportunities that you get by getting involved in student clubs and organizations may take you down a path that you never knew existed. And when you think of our support, we try to keep our student to faculty ratio low. You can see the 19:1. And I'm not going to read through all these quotes, but I mean, students really recognize that there are some opportunities to work with our instructors, use our services to help them be successful. And really, I always kind of encourage students like get involved, get involved, get involved. Your education on your resume is about your education is only about 3 sentences on that resume. And those are 3 very important sentences, but what are you going to fill out the resume with? Your experiences, your activities, the things that you have done. Well, recognize by getting involved in the collegiate environment, you can build up that resume and just go beyond just here's my education listed on it. We also have athletics. Some people who were athletes in high school may want to consider one of our athletic teams. And it's a great opportunity for students to be connected with other students. I think athletics really creates a great opportunity for students there. When we think of MCC, one of those things that there's what we think of a great value. If you're just completing a certificate or associate's degree, the investment cost, you can see kind of the average investment cost listed here. However, if you, as an example, want to get a bachelor's degree at a 4-year university or college, what ends up happening is that if you went directly to there, here's some of the comparisons, an average about $42,540 without any MCC degree. But if you complete an associate's degree, that price drops down significantly there. And so what we tell students sometimes is that starting here can help you decrease some of those future costs. I know that I had student loans and it took me almost 11 years to pay those off. Anytime you can reduce those costs is a very important thing. Speaking of some of the costs here, we'll talk a little bit about tuition. So at MCC, you're going to see 3 different tuition rates: in district, out of state. If you live out of state, you can see the tuition costs. And the cost is per credit hour. So if you take a course as a 3 credit hour course, you would take the 3 credit hours times your tuition rate, and that's what you get. So if you're just taking 1 credit hour, $116 per credit hour for in district. I take 116 times 3, that's where I get that 348. So just as kind of a heads up, this gives me a little bit of breakdown on cost of tuition. Now you might go, Keith, I'd rather pay the in-district rate versus the out-of-district rate. How do I get that rate? If you live in one of these in-district school districts, you receive what we call the in-district rate. You pay a tax that helps support MCC. So because of that, you get that discounted rate. You do have to live in district for at least 12 months before you can get that in-district rate. MCC has a variety of different scholarships and opportunities. Feel free to kind of pause the slide and you can look more at it here. But if you just remember, if you go to mcckc.edu, you put /scholarships, you can learn more about our MC scholarships and also external scholarships in that process. We do encourage students, if you're going for scholarships, but also A+ and other different types of financial aid that you should really consider filling out your FAFSA. Some of those processes, like you can't be considered for certain scholarships unless you fill out FAFSA. A+ requires you to fill out FAFSA. And so what ends up happening is that FAFSA is always available October 1st each year. What ends up happening is that October 1st is the first day that you can access FAFSA for an upcoming financial aid year. So financial aid normally starts in the fall and goes through summer. It's a fall to summer kind of financial aid year. It's probably the best way for me to describe it. So if you're going to start classes in fall 22, you can fill up that FAFSA now. And what ends up happening is that we use what's called prior year taxes. So what's prior to fall 22, fall 21? What's prior to that? 2020. So you'd use your 2020 tax information, which you can kind of see listed there. Now there are some priority deadlines. If you're looking to start for spring, November 30th. If you're looking to start in the summer, May 1st. If you're looking to start classes in the fall, May 30th. Now I will point out, if you are deciding to do, let's say, take classes in spring of 2022, remember the financial aid year goes from fall to summer. So if you start in spring 22, technically you'd be in the fall 21 to summer 22 timeframe. You'd actually have to fill out what's called the 21-22 FAFSA. And if that was a little confusing, just think to yourself that touch base with our financial aid office and we'll help you figure out which one you need to take. But long story short, you need to fill out the FAFSA that's appropriate to when you're starting classes. If it's fall 22 that you're starting, you fill out the FAFSA using your 2020 taxes. So as a heads up, kind of an A+ checklist here. First, you need to file for FAFSA, and there may be some additional steps upon that. So once you fill out FAFSA, we traditionally like to see you 3 business days after that point in time to discuss if there's any additional steps that you need to work through. FAFSA, when you just fill out the FAFSA, some students think, I'm done. No, there might be additional steps tied to it. Sometimes you're selected for what's called verification. And so selected for verification means you have to provide additional documents to support what you put on your FAFSA. In my undergraduate, I got selected 5 times. So as a result, sometimes it happens, sometimes you will never get selected. It just kind of the luck of the draw there. But I will mention, it's like, you might go, oh, that's extra work, and I don't know if I want to go through all this. I will say there's few times in life where you could spend a few hours of work and get several $1,000s. So I always will take that hourly wage any day. Nonetheless, you file for FAFSA with the additional steps. You need to register and be a full-time student, 12+ credit hours in the fall and spring, 6 hours at least in the summer. A+ will pay tuition maximum of $189 per credit hour. So just as kind of a heads up, if you're living in district, your tuition rate's $116, it covers your entire tuition cost. If you live out of district, you have a tuition cost of $228 per credit hour. So it doesn't quite cover that entire cost, but it covers the vast majority. Now, A+ pays for tuition, does not pay for fees, so you would have to pay any fees which we have very few fees at Metropolitan Community College. There are some program fees for, let's say you're in the nursing courses, not the gen eds for nursing or the prerequisites for nursing, but the nursing specific courses. Welding has a cost fee associated with, because the metal is not cheap, the gas that we use for the welding purposes. So as a result, there might be some small fees that are not covered by A+, but for the vast majority of students and programs, you do not have any additional fees. And if you want to know more about the A+ requirements, if you go to mcckc.edu, financial aid /A+. A+, this gives just a little bit more detail of what's not covered by A+, books and supplies, lab fees. We've actually eliminated our distance education fees, so that's exciting on that front. Tuition beyond $189 per credit hour. I kind of mentioned that in the previous slide. Repeated courses. So if you took a English 101 course one semester and you're going to retake it the following semester, A+ will not pay for it once it's paid. Drop courses, A+ sometimes will not pay for drop courses. Work with financial aid and advising to understand that a little bit more. Course is not required for a degree. You have to take courses that are for your MCC degree. That's how A+ pays for things. And then A+ will not pay for tuition already covered by Pell Grant. So Pell Grant, kind of think of it this way. If a student's eligible for Pell Grant will pay first before A+. So kind of think of it this way. The state wants the federal government to pay before the state government pays. A couple more things related to A+. Complete at least 12 credit hours and 6 hours in the summer, each semester continue receiving A+. Now, summer is an optional semester for students, but if you do enroll in the summer, you do need to complete at least 6 credit hours. This is important that with A+, you may earn A+ in high school, but you have to maintain it and keep it. Now, A+ requires a 2.5 GPA to keep A+. There is a little bit of flexibility in your for a 2.0 during your first fall semester. So there are some flexibility that exists there, but really I generally tell students just remember a 2.5. Then any federal aid, Pell Grant, student loans, and A+2 on this requires that you at least have what's called a 2.0 GPA and 67% completion rate. I'm not going to go too far into depth with that, but long story short, keep your GPA above a 2.5 and pass your courses. That's what you really need to do to keep your A+. How long does my A+ last, in all honesty? So A+ expires when one of the following criteria are met. 48 months after high school graduation. Extensions are available for students who join the military right out of or join the military. If you completed an associate's degree, A+ then stops. So once you complete an associate's degree, it's done. And if you've completed what's called 105% of your program. So what that basically means, if your degree was 60 credit hours, you take 60 times 105%, that equates to 63 credits. Once you hit 63 credits, A+ stops. And so what ends up happening is that we want to make sure you're taking courses that are applying to your degree. This does include repeated courses and transfer courses, but dual credit courses are not counted while in high school, don't count towards that 105%. So in regards to getting really a jump start on your education, there's lots of things listed here, but the biggest thing is where it says apply for free. If you go to our main website and you remember nothing from this presentation whatsoever, the only thing I really need you to remember is the word apply. On our website, it's traditionally in the top right corner. You click on apply, it'll take you to a page that looks something like this. And there's a thing that says apply to MCC. You apply to MCC, what happens is you get in our database and my admissions reps across the district reach out to you to help support you through the process. If for some reason you don't hear from us or you're not checking your email as much as you may should right offhand there, you might be waiting a little bit. So you're always welcome to reach out to us, but I kind of think this way, once you apply, you should be getting contacted soon after that point in time. If you don't get an outreach in at least a week after you've applied, you may want to reach out to us. And if you have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out to our teams at Metropolitan Community College. We're always more than willing to help you and support you. You see at the bottom of that webpage, you'll see a 604-1000 phone number. That's a great phone number to keep in mind as it relates to understanding how to get a hold of somebody. You call that 1000 line, you'll get connected to somebody who can assist you. What I will say, I really thank you for your time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for considering Metropolitan Community College.